So here's how you settle it, Justin. If you're not from the inside, and I'm not from the inside, but that Liberty One commercial was extremely, I mean, that looked just like you. Looked just like you. Just with the ears were pushed out a little bit. Same wide eyes. Could even have been your cousin or something. And then to think that you're actually in a commercial, I still weighed that out and thought, well, yeah, I mean, it's, of course, anything's possible. I don't truly know these people on the other end. But over time of watching, you kind of get to know people's tendencies. And you start wondering, like, well, all right. Because this is only going to work for you, Justin. If you want to listen to this and understand how you can finally draw the line and determine what's going on here, is they made a commercial, and Jonathan Kleck showed it, to make a very strong similar case towards you, and then mentioning things about you that reminded me of you when it comes to that person that they're showing, and in the words that he says afterwards. That's how they confirm it. And then, but what would be the motive of that? Well, to get me to think that you're an agent. But why would I think you're an agent? Because you have inside knowledge that I've never seen before. Oh, well then, that's because you're from the inside. You have to have, if you got that understanding, you must be an agent from the inside. How can you possibly get information from Father God? And then, what happens is people struggle over who people are and who they aren't. Remember, there's a Messiah going around, and there's a contestant game show. But if you've sinned any time recently, you know you're automatically disqualified. But others aren't, because they'll act like they don't have sin, and they can justify why they don't. So this thing's going around where a couple different people are going to be getting crowned for it, because there's a couple people that have to think that they are, and then realize that truly it's what John the Baptist was talking about. Christ rises up in all of us. But somebody's trying to pick out to be that one person. The birthright is always trying to get stolen. All the time. It's whoever was birthed the right way. They're the ones that inherit it. So you know that's going on, which means it's pretty serious. I mean, this is the world, right? This is the entire planet we're talking about. The entire planet. And I think you're smart enough to know, Justin, that these people that are from the inside, that they have surveillance on us 24/7, no matter what. No matter what, right? Anywhere. Anywhere and everywhere. Especially with your own phone right here like this. So this is happening in the planet, and you also know that there's a few people that have been showing on YouTube that obviously knows what's going to happen. Which brings it back to me. You seem to know certain things are going to happen as well. Well, could it be because you're a prophet? Could be, but I don't know. I'll just assume, because it's a way to not attach feelings, that everybody is an agent from the inside. And then you'll probably assume the same thing, which means me as well, because of the circumstances, because of out of the blue, I just went up and met you for the first time and your grandmom happened to die on that day, like I was supposed to know that that was going to happen. But I can definitely understand why you would start to think in that direction. And then that gets me to start thinking, but why would other people waste their time trying to trick you and trying to trick me about you? This is the planet, this is the world, this script is being played out. You know it and I know it. And we do our research. Wherever you get your information from, I don't know. Probably from your head, the same way I get mine. But you remember that enemy. See, there's an enemy that I've been dealing with lately. I'm just voicing it loud because I can see where the enemy inside of you can justify anything. They even try to make you look like you're Judas, and they'll try to make me look like I'm Judas. That way we can both get accused of being Judas. But nobody gets accused of being Jesus. Only Judas. Jesus, you know that Kleck is playing that role, right? Can you see that? And can you see that Derek is looked at as the Christ? Didn't he say, many will come in my name? But how do you know Derek's talking about him? It's your perception. How can you pick up on the words? How are you supposed to know who is really who? And who's on your side and who ain't? Well, you know Judas comes around, right? Judas comes around, but ultimately, it's the Judas spirit that runs in people. So yes, there's going to be a literal Judas that's going to be playing that role, and he's going to do his job because he was promised to rule and reign, just like Jesus. But Jesus didn't want the earthly, he wanted you to understand that his kingdom wasn't on an earth. Like it's not about where your feet literally are. It's spiritual. That's where his kingdom is. So I feel like Judas would be the one that would want to be in the place of. And that's why he spills his guts afterwards. But Judas, the thing is, Judas knows who Jesus is. Like he knows. He knows. Judas knows who Jesus is. Which means he would be the one in the place of. Wouldn't that make him the Antichrist? Is the one that hired the person? Is the boss the Antichrist? Or is it the person being an Antichrist? It's like, my boss hired me. He's not an Antichrist, but I act as an Antichrist with just assuming that the materials that he has is just going to get thrown out, or it's just extra, doesn't really make a difference. That's the Antichrist inside of me. That's what John the Baptist was talking about too. You got to slay that. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, what you aren't doing, how much money you make, how much money you don't make. You're no better or above or below anybody. So don't assume. So I won't assume that my boss is just going to throw materials out anymore. Or that it's extra and I have a right to it. So being forgiven for it today, well, it feels really good. You know why? Because my conscience is completely cleared. I didn't just say it on YouTube. I did it. It's documented. I can show the text message, but it's unnecessary. Unless I absolutely have to prove something, but I don't. The point is, the people that truly do surveil, you know exactly what I said. sorry. So what's going to happen here is this. People are taking they're going through drastic measures to get me to believe that you are an agent from the inside and to get you to believe the same thing about me. When I'm talking about disappointed as a friend, I wasn't really even referring to you about that because I consider you an actual friend in the flesh. Someone I've actually seen. When I'm talking about being hurt by a friend, I was talking about Kleck. How can you be so tricky with your twin? And, you know, that's just maybe it's not even true. Maybe that's my delusion. And I just think delusionally like Kleck is my friend. But I do consider you guys friends. My enemies, my friends. I didn't have friends until I had enemies. Then I had friends after the enemies. You gotta become an enemy first in order to be a friend last. So was anybody really my friend in the beginning? No, obviously not, because there was a lot of fakery going on. But once you turn and then turn back again and then just be civil, or whatever, it is what it is, right? This is where it's just whatever. Don't accuse me of deleting videos or deleting your comments, because I don't delete comments. You'll just get blocked and that's it. So when I get that accusation, it's like, all right, come on, dude. You're an agent. It's an agent trick. Just stop. It's a low level, low grade agency. So when you're truly just somebody from the outside, just like I am, and you can see people that do have say in how the planet is ran, or they at least know ahead of time, so which means they have some pull in some things, and you completely understand that it's a real thing. And then just think to yourself, why would those people continually, however they can, like, they're working through you more than through me, I believe. Because I think you may comment more back to the people that are friendly. Like if you start, here's the way it is. If you start to be on my side, you're gonna see who turns on you. You're gonna see who, like if you decided to consider it, like, you know what, wipe the slate clean. Just let the demons go, whatever they are, whatever's telling you, whatever, just let it be what it is. It is what it is. It's, Richie, you're right. Let it be. And then, if you seem like you're leaning towards just being even civil with me, you'll see that the people that commented to you the kindest, they're not gonna, they probably kindly still will, but you'll get new accounts. And it'll be their other personality. And their other personality will cling, but no, they'll get nasty with you. They're gonna tell you the truth. That's how you find the truth out, and you know it. It's how they scribe. You can tell how they scribe. And plus, if it's a new account that you never heard of, and all of a sudden this person's like, yeah, Robin, he's just, like they have no content whatsoever and you never seen it before, it's the other personality of your friend, whoever you communicate with as friends. If they're kind to you right now, and then you start to just, not like be on my side, but just be civil about things from here on out. To a demon, that's not good. That's not, they don't accept that. Because you might get reeled back in. But remember, those are demons. They're not me. It's not me. I don't comment on your channel. Well, I mean, no, I do, but if I comment, it's me. And only me. I'm a one-man show just like Derek. Man, if I had all those masks, those meat suits, I would be doing the same thing. I'm telling you. I would be joking around. I wouldn't really try to. Obviously, you're gonna know it's me, so that's where that would be pretty fun to dress up in another meat suit and change your voice. It's so great. Never thought that was a thing, but the point is, John the Baptist has the message, and he knows skill as well what the hell is going to happen, not just because of being a prophet, but because truly inside knowledge. So can we agree, Justin, that there's no question that Derek Broze has that ability to know what's truly going to happen because he was born for this? Do you think possibly that certain people were actually born for these moments and you're one of them? But what are you born to do? You're definitely trying to figure it out, aren't you? Because so am I. But I got these demons in my head that they want to throw doubt. If they can throw reasonable doubt in the court of law, you lost your case. That's all they got to do. So the reasonable doubt for me was, man, that commercial looked freaking, man, that was you. It's like I envisioned that you drove down to Arizona with Derek and you were in his green screen and you recorded a few things. You did the video on the Liberty One commercial, and then you did a couple videos in the green screen while you were there. That's what I was thinking. But I'm thinking, I'm kind of jealous actually, because it sounds kind of fun. It's not that I was mad. You gotta understand, I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. I'm just making an observation. Don't get offended. Blessed are those who don't. So if you stop attaching feelings to what you think is going on with me, just, don't you know in the end we're all supposed to be working together anyway? It's just a matter of who realizes it at the moment faster. Who can figure that out quicker? And then once you can figure out who's who, then you can start to just treat them the way that you know how they're supposed to be treated. Like what kind of authority they have or don't have. Spackle. It's one of the easier jobs. Yeah, anybody can really spackle, but well, technically it's like body work. You can teach people to spackle, but if you don't know how to spackle, man, don't even try it, because then you gotta sand it down too much. So we're all just trying to figure out who is who in this script, this thing. There are people that just randomly hopped on to the YouTube platform and something piqued their interest. Like, what piqued my interest about communicating with people? I just went into Walmart acting like a goof, spotting security guards because, why? Because I'm a thief. I'm a thief. I've grown up that way, but you were ex-thief, even though it rears its ugly head on you to try to get you to be one again, just by assuming. So yeah, I mean, you can sin just by your assumptions. If you do accuse people, and they truly aren't, why are you accusing them? Well, most of the time, like I said, I joke with you. It's like, what are you talking about, God? It's like, well, I got my information from God. Like, I never said anything to you. And it's like a LOL, not being dead serious. Here's one of the things that agent will say to you about me just publicly repenting is that it's a show, that I'm doing it because I'm supposed to. Well, he's not playing Jesus, because you have to never sin in your entire life, and you damn sure can't sin anytime recently. Jesus is, like, when you know Jesus, according to our interpretation, he's absolutely flawless. Flawless. So you can't pass that off on me. But to others, they might believe that. If this was a world script that I was part of, hypothetically just saying, if I was an agent, from the inside, well, when you say that, it makes it seem like you are. But that's your way of joking. I didn't see you laughing, but that may just be your way of joking. Same way that I mess around. Just playing. Just kidding. But if it's true, then whatever. So they can tell you that it's scripted, and I mean, what else would, I'm sure you can think of it yourself, because these are the thoughts that they know will pop up in your head. And if they can feed you with just a little more juice, then they know that they got you still. Like, you're still on their side. You're still, they still got you. But if you try to be civil, even like let bygones be bygones and just move on from accusing or just assuming, just let it be. I can think of a few accounts, I'm sure, that would be really enthusiastic to tell you some things about why I would publicly repent about stealing and stretching my hours at work when I don't even have to. Why did I do that for real? Because my conscience was bothered by it, because I heard some stories. Oops. I don't even know if it's upside down or not. I heard a story of Kleck's buddy, his friend, a good friend, that was just kept constantly lying about stuff. And that he wasn't really trying to pray. Like, he wasn't really, like, he tried and it's like, I'm not really feeling it. Because when I pray out loud, it just always felt like you're just talking to yourself. And it's scripted. So that reminded me of what I was doing, because he referred to it at work as well. Because this is how angels communicate one to another. Then you want to, because that's what they are, as messengers. If you got a message that you got to get across to people in a spiritual way, it's not going to be direct words. You're not going to hear it directly coming out of someone's mouth at this time. But if you have ears to hear and you have a conviction in your heart, well, then you're gonna publicly make it known. Publicly make it known. No matter what, no matter who thinks what, it doesn't matter. Because in the end, did I come clean? Yes. Is my conscience clear? Absolutely. Absolutely. So today was a good victory of, you know what Satan tried to do? Well, he got me to be unconsiderate of my boss. The same one that years ago in one of his houses that I took his appliance, and I just assumed that his insurance was going to pay for it because I had a Xanax addiction. That's not the excuse, but it's a reason. having that addiction just made me not care. So what happens is those lingered demons rear their ugly head every so often. And then this time around, I put it in check real fast because I have no problem paying for a couple boxes of floorboards. I didn't have to say anything about it, but only because it started to remind me of being a thief. I'm like, nah, wait, this ain't thief. Why didn't I just ask him to order a couple boxes? Because they're just gonna throw it. You think they're gonna just throw it away, right? So, well, who are you, Robin, to think that they're gonna throw it away? That it's something that you deserve. It's not yours. So publicly, I feel a lot better now. And just privately as well, because I did my part on coming clean about something. And I can say, well, I didn't even have to tell my boss. I didn't have to say anything. Why did I have to say anything? Well, what if they already knew? You ever think of that too? I mean, my boss, he is a builder. Masons are builders, right? But regardless, next time, just ask. Ask and you shall receive. Take and you shall not. Don't take, ask. So I'm even at the age of 44, I'm still struggling with some of these demons that rear their ugly head once in a while, and they kind of put you in a delusion, and they convince you otherwise. But that's only when they can be fed by others too. So in your comment section, you'll have people that they have to listen to all 33 minutes of my videos. You don't. You don't have to. That's your choice. And if you truly don't have to, then that means you're not from the inside. Because I don't have to watch your videos either. I choose to. So you'll have people still, they've been doing this for a while now. Either I'm that damn good of an actor that you'll be giving me the award in the end, or you're that damn good actor and I'll be giving you that award in the end. Or, if you can figure out who's who, like everybody, and what their role is, we all get the Greatest Actors Award at the end of the show. And whoever is the crowned Messiah, let the best man be the Messiah. But you have to be able to tell the truth. See, this is why there's a cleansing that happens with John the Baptist coming to pave the way. Whether he knew Jesus was coming or not, which I think even if Jesus wasn't coming, he was still going to fulfill that role as well. Because he would be announcing himself. It's that thing where in your own spirit, you're announcing the arrival of Christ, and then come to find out later on that you are Christ, and you've been announcing your own arrival, which would be one of the most humbling experiences, because the entire time your mindset is that you're truly announcing that Christ is coming. And then you realize that you are Christ. But the other angle is, if these were Hollywood movies, the other angle is when you're announcing that Christ is arriving, which this is true also, is that the Christ Spirit is rising up in people. And especially when John had all that authority, he had authority from people that were able to just not have to deal with the government. They don't have to. They have means of doing other things. They're not interested in their artwork on the money. They're not interested in the the bombings that are on the money, they were just interested in getting people to be able to work for that money. The ones from the inside that use that, the Faustian bargain offers to people. Derek said himself, many people, even Judas himself. Judas knows the truth. He knows Jesus, and that's why he's in the place of it. So that's why he's trying to take his place, and that's what Lucifer would be doing, according to certain people's interpretations as well. Did he not say he's going to raise his throne above the stars of God? And then here, but see, listen to this part. There's always a in place of actor, Lucifer, also. So there's definitely an in place actor of Lucifer, in place actor of Jesus. But who truly knows that? Well, Judas knows Jesus. I think Judas knows Jesus more than Lucifer does. What do you think? Judas is the one that was closest to Jesus. So he's the one that knew, because he said, this is Jesus. He's the one that kissed him, and which is just a betrayal. But there's also doubting Thomas, and that's just a spirit of doubt that comes in, but with one person playing Thomas, because everybody's playing these roles. Just who is who? Well, John the Baptist was announcing that Christ is returning, and he was not kidding, because Christ is returning. There is a head, there is a body. The head is the Father, the body is the bride, the church. The Father is the Spirit that takes over. It ain't playing anymore, that's the thing. The Father's Spirit is done being a child. It's time to grow up. Don't attach feelings to what people say to you. Think for yourself. All I can tell you is I am who I say I am. I'm a regular person from the inside of the house of God. And from the outside, I'm just looking in. Before the windows, they used to be foggy, but now it's like this. When I look in from the inside, I see it like this, very clear.